Let's go Dutchmo. There, that scares off all the people who are watching the recording. That'll teach you. That'll teach you. 1 week later. My shoes crunch through the layers of snow beneath me. Behind me, the trail is quickly swept over by fresh snowfall. It's not how that works. The cold bites at any flesh it can reach. My eye, ears, nose, and exposed hand carries my precious. Wear gloves. Put on a hat. Inco, you fool. Somewhere in the distance, a dog barks. Yeah, what a callback. What a fucking callback to the doggo we never got to see. I am alone in this frigid wasteland, and to think this started so simply just 4 days ago. I had gotten into a new routine at the start of the school week. Wait, is the game music's on, right? I'm a little worried because I remember that I think I turned the music. No, the sound was playing when we started up. It's just this moment is quiet. Wake up, head to school, do my thing until the bell rings, and then head on over to the paint residence to check on Olivia. She texted me that the drafting for the painting had finished, and now it was time for the real task of filling in the canvas with color. Every time I'd come over, I would find her sitting on the edge of her bed with a brush in hand, analyzing the canvas with the kind of fire in her eyes that only a visionary like her would have. I'll be honest, a problem I have with Olivia, I think a little too much, alright? They're a little too much with Olivia on the idea of, like, Olivia is this fantastic artist. A little too fucking much, alright? A little too much. I think that Olivia, like, for fuck's sake, Olivia, you are so good you won a contest on your first year. You've only gotten better. Everyone thinks your shit's great. If she was slightly worse, it's understandable that she's like, people are humoring me. Look at this painting. It's not that great. But for fuck's sake, Olivia, you won a contest on your first year. What happened? That this is how your hand, like, it just, she's too good. She's implied to be too good for what it's worth, all right? Have someone criticize her. Just one or two people. Just someone. So that it feels like she's not God's gift to the art school. Even Ianakon is like, her grade is fucking everyone over. Don't. She needs to have some flaws and faults so that like, I get it, right? She can't tell the difference between she's actually that good or, she's fucked up. But you're muddling the message on some level. There's a message being muddled there. You can't ever be too good, all right? Also, when you really get down to it, right? She won this contest as like a freshman? As a fucking freshman. And nothing followed up on that in 3 years. Nobody followed up on that. She won the contest, and no one got back to her about that. There's an article out there that we never get to see. I just want to know, like, what happened? If this is such a big deal, that this is your big way into the industry, what happened? Listen, if I win a contest, and then 3 years later, I walk up to some dude and like, hey, let me in college. I won a contest like 3 years ago. Who fucking cares? Why didn't you win it this year, buddy? Like, how prestigious is it? Just give me that je ne sais quoi. Because there's also the part, again, I pointed this out originally, the story, Olivia can't re-enter. Why doesn't Liz know that? Liz is in the contest. She's like, oh, I can win. Why not in the... Olivia already won, Liz. You should know the terms of the condition of the fucking contest. You're a fucking Stuco treasurer. I'm just having some slight issues. Sorry. I'm very upset about it because it feels like there's a it's the demo hitch. I know it's like the demo has a lot of flaws that they never really hammered out and they just stuck with it. But this is why you kill those darlings in their sleep with a pillow. Back on Tuesday, I got a real craving for root beer. I still don't know what root beer is like. I don't know if it's good or bad. One day I'll have it and I'll have an opinion. Olivia told me there was a gas station up the street and around the corner, and if I asked, I could get her a normal cola with a strange and asked if I could get her... What? The trip was... You're not bringing her Coke, man. You're bringing her icicle. The trip was frigid, and I probably should have seen where this was going, but the soda was well worth it. Once Olivia found out I could survive the journey, she started requesting I go and... Aw, you poor man. You've been forcefully recruited. Then I got caught on the return trip by Vinny and Randy. Short version of the story, I'm now the resupply man for the household. That's Randy's job. He's the man in the house. You've emasculated him. You've taken away the one thing that gives Randy a raison d'etre in life, which is to brave the snowstorm. You asshole. You ruined it. He's going to divorce in like 2 weeks. I go out to get the precious rations for my poor, freezing, shivering girlfriend and the other survivors of this inhumane climate of 31 degrees. How cold is 31? I know that like around 35 is like 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius. Sorry, I'm a Celsius boy. Yeah, that's like just below freezing. That's like just below freezing. What kind of fucking cowards are you? Although I think it's implied that Vocalderia is in like Dinofornia. It's in a California area. I imagine they're probably not used to freezing. Actually, on that note, the fact that it doesn't snow in Anon's story, and it's implied to actually be kind of warm, I don't know what the fuck is up with the climate. Are they experiencing global cooling? Listen. I would love it if the Inco world, if the Anonverse experiences global cooling, because one, it is more destructive to dinosaurs because they can't handle the cold. And it's implied that it was colder before. And two, it's a fun inversion of global warming. I'm just saying I love the idea of like, they're so ecologically friendly, the Earth is cooling back down. They are trapping too much CO2. Everything is cooling, and the dinosaurs are dying. It's just a fun inversion of the trope. Just like, it's just cold. It's just the weather, they say, as next year everything freezes solid. It gets so cold overnight that everything is covered in like ice. Ugh. It's been tough work, but it's been a blast. I like the paint style, though. It's a bit rough, but I do like what they did with the backgrounds. The Stark house angles, though, I mean, to be fair, it does convey this is a house. This is mechanical inside a world of nature. It also gives some starkness to the wires in the background. This is interesting detailing. As I approach the front door, one of the survivors eagerly smushes his face into the glass window, ecstatic to see my triumphant return. If it's not Vinny, the door opens for me and slams shut as I'm yanked in before the chilly air can creep in with me. It's barely freezing. You absolute cowards. Also, shouldn't it have been barely freezing at the minimum for a longer period of time, since that's when snow sticks? Like, snow does not stick around when water starts melting, buddy. I stumble forward and finally collapse on the couch into Olivia's waiting arms. The moment my butt hits the comforter, she spreads out the large blanket she has open and enshrouds me in a warm, scaly embrace. So, how are you affording the energy bills with all this extra heating? Sure feel like fucking idiots not buying the extra insulation, are you? Shut up, Inco. Can't let my personal heating rack lose its warmth. That's not how heating rocks work. This is not how body heat works for anyone. What the hell is this? Appreciate it. Olivia nuzzles the crook of my neck and wraps her tail around my waist, trying her best to warm me up. One would assume that a literal cold-blooded Sauron would be a terrible way of warming up. Oh, well, whoever they are dead wrong. That's just the blanket talking, Inco. That's just what a blanket does to a person. She's technically a blanket. She's just like a big, watery blanket. Setting the plastic bag on the floor, it begins to get passed around and everyone moves their various goodies. Are you paying or are they, like, compensating you? In seconds, Damien's chugged his battery acid energy drink. It's fucking yellow. Although I don't think battery acid's all that colorful. Ah, that's what I needed! Say you up for another trip, Inco? Olivia signals to Vinny, takes the empty bottle and bops him in the back of the head with it. Oh, Inco, I finally thought of something. Flutters his eyelashes. Date? God damn it, Inco, I never should have taught you how to use mascara. Flutter. Oh yeah, you'll love it. It's knock. Olivia's breath catches. The two of us wait in anticipation as Randy gets the door. But we both know what it is already. Oh! In the other ones, this one arrived while... Yeah, pretty neat. Doing it the other way around. My head jostles to and fro, and Olivia's excitement translating physically to her arms quaking wildly around my collar. Settle down. Oh, damn it, you gotta settle down over there. Randy hefts the box containing a new wheelchair parts into the Shouldn't it just be the entire new wheelchair? I thought you were buying a whole new one, not like the parts to replace it. Into the living room and sits in front of the TV. You want me to set it up for you? Actually. Olivia lifts herself off the couch and starts pushing against the box, sliding it towards her room. I don't want to be that guy, but your knees do not have traction. And I don't imagine a tail does either. Like, the reason your hands and feet have any grip whatsoever is it comes from places that make sense. It's not just... I mean, admittedly, it depends on the floor. But this seems like linoleum, and, like... Well, no, it's probably wood, isn't it? Like, Americans have actual wooden floors. Out here, it's usually linoleum. You'll find the plastic crap. But the problem is there's a difference between the back of your hand and like the front of your hand when it comes to traction. I can't imagine your knees are enough to push around an actual heavy box full of metal components. Cardboard has more traction than you do, Olivia, and you're not heavier than it in the way that matters. Is the problem? I mean, to be fair, a big problem of like pushing versus pulling, right? You want to pull things like that. The reason you want to pull them is if you pull them, you lift them up slightly, because pulling usually goes slightly upwards. There's something about pulling compared to pushing that transfers more energy upwards and thus reduces the traction. It's just a smart thing to do. I think it's also because when you're pushing, you generally... something about you just tends to angle downwards. I don't know what it is. I'm sure some very smart man did some very smart research, and he has like a big fat degree rolled up and with a little ribbon. Inco, I can do it. All right. God damn it, Olivia, you keep doing this. Stop. Oh. I mean, if it's that kind of box, then yes, you could probably do it. Why they shipped it in a plastic container like that, I don't know. That seems dangerous. Because I know what those plastic tubs are like. They are not for that kind of transport. I say that mostly because I once had a plastic tub like that, and there was metal in it, and a hole was made. A hole was made. Admittedly, that might have just been the person who packed it not doing a good job. Olivia waves me over to join as she pops the door open and pushes the heavy-looking box into a room. Come on, come on. What are you waiting for? Let's get at it. Well, stop floating in the air, will you? We sit on the edge of the bed with the box before us. Say it in front, man. Don't be so fancy. Olivia takes a deep breath and extends a single claw. I mean, something I never thought about. Those claws would make it extremely easy to open a variety of boxes. Just having a little pocket knife in your finger. On the other hand, every time I think about what it would be like to have a claw and sweep it like that, I'm like, holy shit, that probably feels so weird. In a single motion, she slices the tape open, letting the box flaps loose. Give me those flaps. She starts picking individual parts out and laying them around. While she does, I pick out the instructions. Yeah, that's my job. I take the instructions, and then I get them wrong anyway. But I never give up. Really? What? Come on, give me that. She takes the instructions and rips them to bits. We don't need that. I had to fix my own chair since I was a kid. You get that many? To be honest, I don't know how many wheelchairs you go through in a year. Like, even if it's just like a fraction, like 0.1% per year, but... if it's like 1 per 4 years, I can see that she has the experience. But even then, it's like huge gaps of time. The thing that I really want to get to is it's probably not that complicated. It's a chair with wheels on it. They're not that mechanically intricate. Why are you? I break it. I fix it. As simple as. I broke it a lot by when I was young. Oh, when you were proper Hot Wheels, huh? Okay, curiosity peaked. How? Olivia turns with the biggest grin on her face. Ramp jumps. So you're in a wheelchair. You can't walk. You're reliant on this thing to do anything, and you're like, fuck it. Jackass. Oh my fucking god. Why is this person doing this to themselves? Hold the phone. I gotta look at this. Shit, I forgot I have a recording going. That's embarrassing. I completely forgot I had that. But, unfortunately, I know someone that needs to see this, so please, hold on. They have to see it. I need to bully them with it. It is my fate. Alright. Ramp jumps. She doesn't elaborate, instead will look over to her desk to retrieve a small hex key set. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I just realized I forgot to unmute the game. Whoops. You didn't miss anything, though. A thing that I think is worth pointing out, though. At least she sits comfortably with that fat ass of hers. Jesus. Although, where's the tummy fat? Where's the belly? Where's the thick arms? Come on, Olivia. You can't tell me it's all in the leggies. Give me that pudge. I'm just saying that when I slam her into the table at WWE, when I do the table body slam with her, I would appreciate it if it was a balanced slam and not located entirely within her legs. I'm just thinking about the presentation here, all right? People deserve a nice, solid slam. For the next 15 minutes, we begin to assemble the wheelchair. As it turns out, building this thing is, yeah, like I said. I mean, I've seen some complex wheelchairs in my days. I've seen people with, like, really involved wheelchairs. With, like, fancy buttons and levers and everything. But for the most part, wheelchairs are just, like, chairs with wheels. There's probably, like, some levers and stuff so you can regulate height and whatever, but for the most part, like, you don't want them to be complicated. One, for manufacturing purposes, and two, for repair purposes, and three, so any old idiot can put them together, right? Like, there's a lot of reasons to make a wheelchair as non-complicated as possible. As it turns out, building this thing is as complicated as I thought it would be. Is it? Yeah, that V-neck is deeper than normal. The fact that I notice stuff like that isn't great. It's like the weirdest detail to pay. Something about the anatomy of these characters in general feels like it kind of wishy-washes all over the place. It's fine. It's not a disturbance in the Force, but I do like this Inco, though. He's like, he's so clueless. Most of it's really just as simple as inserting tab A into slot B. There's an innuendo. This is the third time, Inco, you've been a slutty little boy. Please cease. I'm getting uncomfortable. It's getting weird. We're near finished now, and the metal frame stands proud, missing everything needed to make it comfortable, like the seat. And this bit connects to the handles there. Alright. So, you were about to tell me about an idea that I'd love for the date? Oh, yeah. Have you ever been to a hibachi grill? Isn't a hibachi a car, like the hibachi dealer? I've heard of them, but I thought they were cars. They're great, you gotta try it. They sit you down at a table, and in the middle of the table is a big flat-top grill. Oh, I think I know about these, actually. Hold the phone. No, not quite. That's not quite what I'm familiar with, but something similar to it, I guess. Then the chef, name of the piece right there. Thanks. Then the chef comes in and brings this cart full of stuff that you ordered. Once the grill gets hot, they start cooking the food right in front of you. Bring a whole new meaning to playing with your. Oh God, is it that fucking salt guy who's like spritzing the salt on with his little fingies? Gets paid $15,000 just to sprinkle some salt in your food in a fancy way. That's all he does. And then he cuts your meat like incorrectly, and he's like, "I'm cutting it correctly." It's like, no, you're not. I know like several people who know how to cook, and they say that's not how you cut that meat. This man is murdering the meat. He's killing the beef. It's already dead. Somehow he did it. I love that. I love that I know people that can yell at me about that. It's always great when I know people can yell at me about all kinds of things. Positive or negative. Gives you some perspective. So that's really sweet, right? The thing is, I can't see Olivia doing this. She seems way too eager to just get chomping. I don't know. I don't see her as the kind of person who's patient once the food's there. Also, she doesn't even like cooked food. She likes raw meat. So, like, why would you want someone to take the time to grill your beef? Just fucking put it in your mouth already. Sounds pretty sweet, right? By the way, that goes in the other direction. Clunk. Whoops. Yeah, that does sound pretty fun, Liv. It's like a dinner and a show. But the dinner is the show. I've wanted to eat a place like that for years. All right, then. As soon as we finish, let's call that for a table and go. Yeah. Oh, they're just going on the same day? Wow. Energetic. Olivia's arm and tail wrap around me for a hug. Her other hand preoccupies with adjusting the chair's seat to the perfect height. Letting their arm rest in the handle, I stand triumphant over the fully built mobility chair. Man, why can't they have hover chairs? You can have hover chairs, caveman on. You can do it. You're allowed to. You can have your setting be a little bit fancy. Well, I can safely say that, to be fair, the reason people wouldn't have hover chairs is that there's no practical reason to, outside of, like, wilderness environments and maybe, like, ability to traverse staircases, but I think most hover technology wouldn't be built for that anyway. And, like, the complexity and the battery, there's a lot of problems. I don't know if it's worth it. Well, I can safely say that your new wheelchair is completely yours truly, by yours truly. You put the wheel on backwards. How do you even do that? See, if I had sat on it, it would have crumpled, and it would have killed me. Well, you know, I'm a very bad assassin, Olivia. She lightly taps me on the spare parts. So, yeah, stop trying to kill me, dummy. Just to be safe, we're gonna have to go back a few steps to make sure this thing's built correctly. What? Why did you tear up the manual if you're just gonna give him shit for it? Wonderful. Finally, it is done. Is she floating, or is this the intended height? I don't even know. Like, she shouldn't be this high. Olivia inspects my work, nodding in approval on occasion and adjusting a few parts. Carefully, she moves herself from the bed into the seat. So, I just realized, when Olivia runs off to the fountain and when she runs off to the bridge, in both instances her wheelchair gets kind of messed up and thrown... Olivia isn't about her disability, breaks her wheelchair. Oh. That's why I'm kind of like, I don't like what they're gonna do with the dance. Is that like you've already done the opposite. You can't do both sides of this argument, buddy. It's too saccharine. I want to know if they can make it work though, because you can make it work. You can make anything work if you try. I want to know if they did. So, how is it? Darn it, my legs still don't work. Yeah, you did great. Feels just like the old one. They get to reuse assets. If I listen, you just know that I would go like Hideo Kojima on this, and I'd be like, listen, we're making a new chair, and they're like, listen, we can't make a new chair. Fucking recolor the pillows. All right, you can recolor the pillows. Make them slightly brighter blue, or make them red. Make it look like a new fucking chair. Give it some spit and shine. Nice little details. You can use the same assets, and they're like, oh well, I guess that actually works, huh? Would it cost you $0 to take these assets, copy paste them, add a little extra highlight, or because like the chair she had was older and thus the colors are more faded, it's more worn in, it's a tiny speck of dust. But it's the kind of stuff that I would say is great. That's why I am not allowed to make video games. Because I would spend half the fucking budget on stuff like this. And people are like, well, you know, the ice cubes melt perfectly, but the story's shit. Good job, Inky. Phew, at least you're not calling me Nico. I think that's a trans kid in some video game. Yeah, that'd be awkward. Why? Why are they posting? Ugh, whatever, there's no one showing up. We're probably going to stop soon anyway. Don't sigh it. Don't say it. The night's just getting started. Why do I keep forgetting, like, who's talking? Ugh. A tail slithers around my wrist, inviting me to take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. You ready? Yeah, it'll be cold. I'll be fine. I got a personal furnace with me. Put on a hoodie, and a jacket, and a scarf, and a hat. Put on a hat. Put on a hat. Olivia, you lose so much body heat through your ears and your head. Put on a hat, for fuck's sake. Please. Moon Iris has turned to me half-lit, letting me know that my real role in Olivia's life is now furnace. Or what my role is. But something sweeter like heated blanket or comforter. Yeah, no. I say that, and then my aunt and uncle will be giving me the chalk all over. Just because you're laying on top of someone to keep them warm does not mean you're having the sexy times. Sorry to tell you, buddy. But Inco sure would. Well, before we knew it, we're admiring the passing buildings as our railcar races towards the city. One thing we noticed is that the Christmas lights were tangled out about inside the metro, which gave it a much cozier vibe. As we near the concrete jungle, even street lights and buildings grow infested with holiday cheer. I can only imagine what the place will look like in the coming days. I mean, the last known date that really matters is the Winter Formal, which is like December 15th, which is like quite far away from the holidays, all things considered. Definitely going to come back later with Olivia along with my camera. Why didn't you bring it this time, you bingus? Oh, after a bit of walking and sightseeing, we arrive in the city's How is it the Japanese district when, like... I thought it was... What? Little Trudon. Okay? American culture missing. Sorry. As eager as I am to look around and immerse myself in my surroundings, Olivia's appetite for hibachi outranks it. We could always check stuff out later. Yeah, when it's warm enough that your girlfriend won't turn into a popsicle. Just a quick pro tip from your boy. Heading inside, there's a distinct scent in the air that enters my nose. I can't point exactly what it smells like, but the word aromatic comes to mind. Konnichiwa! Welcome. A table for two, I presume. Yes, I called earlier for a reservation. The waitress takes a moment to look at a tablet and place in front of her. Ah, yes. A table for Mr. Nito and guest. Please follow me. Oh man, he's Mr. Nito. Aren't you just fancy? She grabs us a menu and leads us to the main dining area. As we're guided through the restaurant to take in the interior design, seeing various set pieces, decor, and portraits of famous actors posing with who I presume is the owner of the restaurant. Entering into the main dining area, the sound of lively conversation floods my ears, as does the savory fragrance of food being cooked for the other patrons. Just as Olivia said, each table had a grill in the center where Chef was chopping, slicing, and dicing. Listen, I understand dicing and slicing, alphabetical, but I prefer slicing and dicing over dicing and slicing. You slice and dice. You're bad guys in a video game. I could feel my mouth filling up with drool with each passing moment. Finally, we reach our table, where another party occupies the other remaining seats. Enjoy. Are you sharing? Is that normal? Probably. They probably only have so many grills. They gotta make do. So, how would you... Man waves over to Olivia's and her chair's handlebars. Olivia seems to understand what I'm about to entail, because without a word she effortlessly hoists herself out of her wheelchair and onto the dining chair. I fold the wheelchair, place it by a nearby wall, and... Don't use by twice like that. Place it at or on a nearby. Just tiny details like that. Like, don't... If you can help it, don't repeat things. There's something about it that makes my brain go bleh. Again, this is why half the fucking budget of all the video games I will ever make in my life are spent on making the ice cubes melt. Hideo Kojima, come on, fist fight me. I'll show you who can spend an irrational amount of money on stupid details. Okay, listen. I'm just saying that when they pour out the 1999 Bordeaux, I want the bubbles to make sense. Nice. How are you feeling so far, Liv? Olivia smiles, letting her cold fingers splay out near the grill before... Don't grill your hands. That's unsavory. At least put on some gloves. A tail curls up over the counter and joins them. Heated from all sides. I join her in for a few seconds, warming my knuckles. Your knuckles split that one time, buddy. Take care of them. Hydrate. Moisturize. Oh, I already like this place. It's like a combo of a show, a dinner, and a sauna. I reach for the menu that sits between us. Let's see. You already know what you're gonna get? Sushi. They got the good stuff here. But you don't cook sushi. The sushi doesn't go on the grill. You expect Inco to buy the grill stuff? Come on, contribute. She points at something on the menu I don't have a hope of ever pronouncing correctly. Nevertheless, it looks appetizing. I mean, Japanese is really easy to pronounce. But to be fair, a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's Japanese vowels are extremely close to like Dutch vowels, so I can just read Japanese fairly accurately. There's some details and nuances and like intonation sometimes, but for the most part I can read it decently. What about you? I'm thinking something warm and filling. Instead of fucking cold sushi. We came here for the grill, Olivia. First argument. Oh, what about this dish then? She points at one of the specialty dishes titled the Chudon Delight. A chicken breast, hibachi steak, and a colossal shrimp lightly seasoned and... Ugh. The problem is I don't like shrimp. Shrimp looks too much like something. I don't like food that looks like something. It just squirks me out, alright? I don't like... It extends to plants. I want my food to look like processed heaps of materials. Fucking shovel those wooden planks in my mouth, thank you. Ah, kind of like a variety dish. Sounds good enough for me. At variety, an idea overcomes me and I scan the menu thoroughly. The section in particular takes up nearly the entire page. It's something I recalled from the foodie blogs I read. Why don't we try all the appetizers? You know, like tapas. What the fuck is tapas? What are you talking about, Inco? Okay, listen, tapas is like an appetizer or snack. You go to a place and you order like a lot of little itty-bitty meals instead of ordering one big dish. Ah. Oh, that does sound kind of cool, actually. I had tapas like once or twice. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna put up my I'm talking about Spanish tapas, by the way. Actually, there are other tapas, and I don't know if they're the same or not. I think it was Spanish tapas, but it's nice. Get it. Get to all the little things, man. Get to all the little things. A pro tip from your boy, Safi Crook. What? I mean, Inco could afford all of the appetizers. Laying the menu flat before her to the appetizer page, her eyes widen at how many choices there are. Yeah, we should, like, try sampling everything to see which is best. They'd be pretty expensive, though, right? It would. Each plate already costs over $15. A whole page. You're easily looking at, like, 75 plus. Jesus, man. But consider the experience. I see her practically salivating as she looks at the page. How about half, then? There'll still be around 7 plates. Jesus Christ. 150... But I'm sure I can cover that much. Okay. She cuts me off before I can cheer. But not all at once. I want to appreciate the show, too. So 2 dishes at a time. It's a week in session, and I already figure Olivia's plan to fill up early to save my bank account. Shush, which do you... We debate which appetizers to pick to start with, our voices mingling with the rest of the ambiance as we wait to order. By the time somebody comes around, we've compiled a list of the most appealing sounding options. Ah, fuck! Damn, they actually chipped in for a chef. Eventually, a chef approaches our table with a large fork and blade in hand, scraping the two against each other in a theatrical manner before greeting us and heating up the stove. He uses a nearby container of oil to cover the cooking surface in the shape of a smiley face before setting the assortment on fire and spreading it across the stove with the blade. A second staff member drops a cart filled with uncooked meats and veggies that will soon become our dinner. Oh, actually, damn, he even has animations. With his ingredients readied, the chef starts his performance, expertly spinning his razor-sharp utensils with a grin on his face. Vegetables diced and stacked into explosive minifigures. Meats sizzled, flipped, and thrown through. Jesus Christ, it's an influencer restaurant. Ew. Fish and shrimp, sliced and juggled through and around the chef without even looking. Even as we are served up our starting orders, we are entirely too focused on the master chef. Olivia is completely enthralled with the experience. Not that she's the only one. The dexterity and skill the chef has with our food isn't anything like I've seen in any high-class restaurants my parents dragged me to before. After a minute or two of watching the chef's culinary showmanship, the couple beside us receive their order. He eases over a step to now stand before Olivia and I, his eyes carefully scanning the tiny scrap of paper before nodding. Konbanwa, my hungry friends. What the fuck does that even mean? Hold on, we're pulling up Google Translate. It's Japanese. For good evening. Nice. Oh, konnichiwa, konbanwa. Right? Konnichiwa. Actually, let's see. No, it uses completely different characters, so it's definitely not the same, probably. Well, don't I have egg on my face. I'm definitely hungry looking, but looking at Olivia, her eyes are the size of a plate, lips trembling over her smile with the chopsticks creaking in her fingers. Her first time here, I assume. Yeah, mine too. Hi, no friends to our lovely city. Allow me to give you a proper welcome. Before I can tell him that we aren't tourists, the cook sets down a pre-peeled onion on the grill. With a sharpened spatula and tongs, the onion is cut expertly, and then its rings separated and stacked into it. Jesus, that sounds actually pretty fucking cool. He then raises a finger with a smile, and I can't help but lean forward. He holds up a bottle of clear liquid and squirts it into the... Oh, that's the onion! Oh, that's so fucking great. Swoosh. I reel back at the sudden heat erupting from the onion cano, fingers tapping just above my eyes. Oh shit, my eyebrows! You're fine, Inco, relax. Confirming the few bits of hair still on my head, the chef laughs and slides the onion creation around. Woman of a favor, come. Quite. He laughs as the onions are added to our first appetizer plate, a sampler of every... I wonder how many people think that they're a couple. Like, how normalized is this kind of couple that people would be like, oh, that's fine. I mean, I'm not judging too harshly on this, but it's just one of those things you think about sometimes, right? Because he thinks they're tourists. Are they a lovers couple trying to escape the racism of the home country? Because that's the kind of stuff you would expect to see, right? As a cook. I guess he doesn't give a shit. He's a professional. No, he's better. He's a professional. He's got that freshness. He laughs as the onions are added to our first appetizer plate. A sampler of various garnished fish and meats. Olivia is quick to take the sizzling piece of steak and chomp on it, chewing on it, even as her eyes water from the heat of it. The chef notices and uses a spatula to slide Olivia's glass of water closer to her, which she clearly uses to cool her tongue. I'm happy to see that you are so eager to enjoy my cooking, but a good meal is best savored slowly. My hands rub Olivia's back in comfort, but she still smiles and reaches for another cut of steak. Totally worth it. One by one, more of our appetizers are given to us. While I would normally go into detail about each one's unique flavor and how it affects my palate, only one thing really comes to mind. It's frickin' delicious! I like the background they use for this. Very good. Very nice. Olivia seems to have the same sentiment, currently scarfing down the rest of his salmon rolls. Well, if it's salmon, why is the L there? It's salmon, and I will fight you. Any couple say tonight. For a moment, I glance at the girl beside me, enjoying her little moment as she chows down on the food. We are? Well, it is the holiday season, which means the chef hovers his prongs over our heads with something great. It's the mistletoe. It's mistletoe. A kiss between the gentleman and the Wani. Oh, hey, they dropped the fucking name. Wani. A kiss between the gentleman and the Wani girl. Tender. Filled with steak. A lingering pleasantness fills my heart as the chef tosses the mistletoe on a steak, revealing its true identity as a garnish. Hey, what does Wani mean? It means Gator. Oh. I guess I do look like an alligator. Yeah. I mean, I'm always thinking of you as the green gator girl. Really? What, as opposed to the green baryonyx girl? Do you see Damien and refer to him as the red Dilophosaurus guy? That's so rude. Hey, I'm Inco. Wow, I just heard a noise. I crane my head towards the direction of the pink Dilophosaurus and the blue Aphrodontosaurus. Again, I wonder if like they teach kids all the fucking species. I get it. Good. Everyone, I just met a Triceratops. In fact, I met two. Oh, shut up. I use my chopsticks to fling an onion at her. She deftly chomps it out of the air. This feels like something that, I mean, to be honest, this should have come up at some point. For Anon, it's fine because he's a little jerk. But Inco has already made a point that he's like woke to some extent. You know, he's informed. Okay, who ordered the scallions? Oh, that's us. Man, you ordered everything, didn't you? I mean, they did. That's the point. With one last bite of shrimp, we finished our meal. The chef spins his utensils and gives us a bow, bidding us a wonderful evening. I managed to slip him a generous tip. If he's Japanese, you don't tip the Japanese. It's rude. They deliver you a product, they deliver you a service, they charge you a price, and if you give them more, you say they're poor bastards. That's how I think it goes. But it's in America, so I imagine the tipping culture is part of it. And he's like, I get paid shit unless you tip me. Thank you. As the waitress hands me the bill, she asks if you would like the complimentary ice cream, which Olivia if it's a Dom Blanche, I'm all on board. Dom Blanche is my ice cream. My ice cream. Fucking love him. Some dessert sounds about good right about now, so why not? It's not long until we're cutting open sweet, flaky shells of fried cake batter to get to the cool and tasty ice cream. Cause as our free fucking deep fried ice cream. You're going out in the cold, man. Don't ice up. Cold be damned. I need something sweet to get that off. I mean, it's all like salty and savory, so yeah. Actually, would you be right for all? I got an idea. Alright. Trust me, I'll be right back. There's a general store right across. Excellent. Hopefully they have what I have in mind. I'm back. Your ice cream was starting to melt. I was considering eating it. Rude. After I went out to get these, just for you. I handled the plastic bag. Pocket warmers. How considerate of you, Inky. She stuffed them in the pocket of a hoodie, cracking. Oh, it's those neat little things you can, yeah. I grabbed her wheelchair and unfolded next to her, offering a hand to help her into it. Still a whole city out there. Want to go see it? She takes my hand, interlocking her fingers between my own. Absolutely. Say abso-fucking. Oh, I never noticed this. There's like some detail down there too. I mean, a lot of the background details have a bit bleh sometimes, but this is nice. Even if it's square. Oh, it's the hibachi dealer. Well, I said that if no one shows up, we're not doing this. So, no one showed up. We're not doing this. I'm sorry to tell you. Ba-da-bum-bum, ba-ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba. I can't even do it. I'm too weak.